Welcome to Too Many Podcasts, the podcast about podcasts. Now, podcasting from the Sherpa Chalet on Mount Podcastia, here's your host, Jim, the podcast Sherpa.
Thank you, Mr. Bruce. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Too Many Podcasts. Yep, it's me. That's right. Mr. Bruce was right. Once again, Jim, the podcast Sherpa, right here, waving to you, tapping on the mic. That's me. Yes. How you doing? Another exciting week. We hope that you've been enjoying the shows as we are heading towards our season 2 finale. Wow, season 2. I'll have done about 52 episodes by the end of season 2. That's amazing in just a short period of time. I've been keeping busy, that's for sure. I've got a ton of people that I'm still scheduled to interview, and there's people whose interviews I have to edit and get ready for the podcast. And I do have a little information to share with you a little bit later on in the show after today's interview. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I'm not really good with sports. I was never really a good athlete. I didn't really follow sports much on TV. But today, as I'm recording this, we're getting news that Kobe Bryant of the LA Lakers and his daughter Gianna were killed in a helicopter crash today. And just to honor the man for a second, he entered the NBA right out of high school, and in 1996, at age 18, he was the youngest player in NBA history. He won 5 NBA titles in his time with the Lakers, as well as 2 Olympic gold medals playing for the United States. Now he's 4th on the NBA's all-time scoring list with 33,643 points. He just got passed by LeBron James. Kobe Bryant won 2 NBA Finals MVP awards and 1 NBA regular season MVP in 2008. Kobe's been retired for several years, and he's only 41 years old, and that's too young to be lost from this earth. So, from the Sherpa Chalet, all of our thoughts and prayers are with his family, and to all the fans of the Lakers who loved him so much, too. Okay, I can stop being serious now. Oh, that's right. We have a theme week.
It's theme week. It's theme week. It's theme week.
And this week's theme is relaxation through massage. Was that mellow enough? I hope it was. I'm just having a little fun here. And with our guest, it's not your ordinary massage. We had a really interesting conversation.
Who's our guest today, Sherpa?
Robert Gardner is the host of his own YouTube channel, Robert Gardner Wellness. And he's also coming out with a podcast that also has to do with massage, yoga, and more wellness. We had a really interesting conversation. He knows a lot about this field, and he's got a different approach than most massage therapists would. And I found it really fascinating. And I think that after you hear his interview, you may think about massage a little bit differently. And I think that's his goal, but I think he's on the right track. And I like things that are always a little bit different. You know me, right? Before we proceed with the interview, just wanted to let you know that today's podcast is being brought to you by Audible, and you can get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/Sherpa. And you know, there's over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player, or wherever you like to get your sounds from. So why don't we head on over to the spa in the Sherpa Chalet, and we will speak with Robert Gardner. Hey, Rebels. Today, we are in the spa room of the Sherpa Chalet, and for good reason. We have Mr. Robert Gardner of Robert Gardner Wellness. He's got a YouTube channel, and he's got a podcast, and he talks a lot about massage, yoga, and wellness, and he educates you not just about the massage technique, but about things to keep you healthy. And I have the pleasure of having him right here. I've got the Yanni music going on in the back. I've got some hot stones going on. I don't really use them. I just have a nasty neighbor, so I always need something to throw.
Yes.
So welcome to the podcast, Robert.
Thank you so much for having me on, Jim. It's a real honor.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a massage therapist and educator. I've been working in the industry for about 20 years. And To make a long story short, the work that I do for clients is primarily within chronic pain management. So I don't do a huge amount of just relaxation massage. I tend to work on people in pain. And one of the things that comes up very regularly because I teach and share what I do with other massage therapists is massage therapists and the public at large thinks of massage as four main things: table, cream, glide, and nudity. And what I do is come in and take away the table, take away the cream, take away the glide, and take away the nudity. And massage therapists themselves tell me what I do is not massage. Now, what I do is it's almost like therapeutic Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I work on a mat clothed, lots of joint mobilizations and locks, using deep compressions with my legs and feet to be able to help people with chronic muscle tension, to be able to help people in pain. It's an extremely amazing art form that I continue to develop mainly from Thai massage and yoga. I continue to adapt it in a Western American Texan marketplace to use it with clients. I get raving reviews generally from clients and then also from students, but there is some pushback from the industry because it's such a different paradigm than what most people think of as massage. Like you, when you mentioned like hot stones and, the spa hour, like I'm almost in my marketing like the anti-spa. Like I have a very different kind of work that I'm trying to promote within the greater industry.
Could you kind of walk me through maybe like a typical session, what you might go through with someone who comes to you?
So, Jim, do you have any back pain or anything you have problems with?
On occasion, nothing too chronic.
What do you normally have problems with?
Just like soreness, I guess.
Soreness? More like upper back, neck?
A little more like in between like my shoulder blades.
Sure. Okay. So the first thing I would do, Jim, you'd come in, we'd have you fill out some basic paperwork, consent to treat, all the stuff you got to do as a massage therapist. And then I'm going to engage in a little bit more of a conversation with you about that pain, how long it persists, how bad is it. And then I'll say, Jim, once I've got enough information, take off your shoes, lay down on the mat just like you are. I'm going to move you around to see where we're going to work. Within 5 minutes, I'm going to go in and start working on that problem area to try to get it to go away. My sessions are 3 hours long. Again, focused on chronic pain. I have to peel people off of my mat when I'm done because they're so relaxed. I purposefully altered the service and made it longer because I felt like it was more transformative. It created a service they couldn't get elsewhere, and I was getting better clinical outcomes, especially for people in pain. Some people, if they have really bad pain, it almost feels like I have to peel back the layers of an onion. I have to be able to get to the source of that musculoskeletal pain they're having and be able to apply some pressure to be able to get those muscles to let go, relax, and unwind. So I found using a longer session form, I was getting better clinical outcomes for clients in a shorter amount of time.
Like you said, let's say if I was, your client and I came in with the pain in my back, what exactly would you have to do is there like rubbing? Is there compression? Is there just more movement on my part?
There's more movement on your part, but what it looks like from the outside, if somebody came in and saw us, or probably had made video of it, it looks like Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I'm going to put my feet in your back and pull your arms behind you and be using my legs and feet to push into your thoracic spine between your shoulder blades to open up your chest. I'm going to be mobilizing your vertebra, mobilizing your spine to be able to figure out what muscles are tight. I'm also going to use my hands and fingers and forearms, but we're both completely clothed on a mat. It looks more like yoga maybe that I'm doing to you.
Why are you getting such pushback from the massage community?
Because massage is four things: table, cream, glide, and nudity. And they're saying, wait, I don't understand. This isn't what we were taught in school. They have a sort of a mental block because I feel like they're taught certain things in school and they're taught things by authority figures that I come in and question. I was never really all that interested in being a massage therapist. I went into massage and body work because of chronic pain, because I was hit by a drunk driver. So my real goal was to get myself out of pain. as I continued to get myself out of pain, I started applying that to clients, and that was when things started shifting, because it was a very tectonic shift. It's almost like internet and pre-internet. It's that big a status change, a sea change in an industry where they're used to thinking about table cream, glide, and nudity, and I'm taking away those four elements.
Yeah, so it's unusual because you're still treating an affected area by with loosening the muscle or expanding the muscle.
Yep.
So it's really the same to the core. It's just the whole technique is different.
Yeah, it's just packaged in a different way. To me, it's a little bit like saying the cab industry and Uber. They're both solving a transportation problem, but they're solving a transportation problem in a radically different way.
This is what's known as Thai massage.
Yeah, this is what it grew out of. There have been lots of discussions about both yoga and Thai massage in recent years, about what is traditional within those practices. And I wasn't so interested in a traditional practice. It was more that I was using bits and pieces of different traditions and blending them to make a more effective service in the US marketplace.
With the clients that you get, what are the most common problems? Do they all have very common tense areas, or it kind of differs from person to person?
Upper back and neck pain is probably the most common. 50 to 80% of the clients I see on any given day have problems with that. I also see a lot of people who are having some sort of carpal tunnel syndrome or hand and arm pain. Those are probably the two most common things that I see as far as pain and pain management.
And when a person gets massages, how often should they be going? Should there be like a little bit of a gap in between sessions?
I mean, there can be. It depends on whether somebody has a chronic condition and they're going for pain management, or whether they're going for just general maintenance and well-being. I think the more chronic the issue, especially if it's musculoskeletal based, meaning tight muscles, then usually what I wind up doing is giving somebody sort of a treatment plan, if you will, where I'll say, listen, I need to see you for 2 or 3 sessions to kind of get you over the hump. After that, you'll just be on maintenance. With other therapists, that may vary a little bit, just based on the fact that a lot of therapists are doing hour sessions, not 3 hours. So I think if somebody's going for pain, I think most massage therapists, if you see them for 2 or 3 sessions and they can't help you, I don't know if they're going to be able to help you. If they do help you and you see some benefit, then you need to talk to that practitioner and find out what you think the long-term sort of prognosis might be.
And do you think that massage is good therapy for people who might have like autoimmune issues?
Autoimmune can be really complex. What I do is I work with soft tissue. So if someone is having pain, usually that's not autoimmune, it's just musculoskeletal pain. They have a tight back. Yeah, they have pain between the shoulder blades, muscle pain. I can usually deal with that very easily. Autoimmune conditions can be much more complex, especially if you're talking about something like rheumatoid arthritis or some other condition. I think those people can still benefit from massage and have some degree of pain reduction, but the real problem is their immune system itself attacking their own body.
This question was brought up to me by the Sherpa bride, and she said, if you're sick and you get a massage, is that sometimes worse? Does it bring out the toxins?
I don't think from a scientific standpoint it brings out any toxins. I think that it can flush stuff through your body. The main issue that I have with people who are sick is, one, I don't want to work on you when I'm sick because I don't want to make you sick. And two, I don't want you to come in and make me sick because I got to go work on other people. So it's mostly getting past the contagion stage. And then there's various conditions, of course, depending on what people are having problems with, where a massage would be contraindicated, wouldn't be a good idea to do it. But for the most part, if somebody's over a cold and it was a couple days ago, then usually I'm fine with that.
What do you do with people who are very nervous about getting massage, like maybe for the first time, or are there certain things that you have to?
Yeah,
get
I think also this has really changed for me because when I cut my teeth working in spas and clinics, you're going in to see a guy. You've never met me before. And what I was expected to do, Jim, is say, Jim, listen, you're going to take off all your clothes and lay down on this table underneath the sheet. I'll be back in just a minute. I'll knock when I come back. That's a completely different dynamic than what I currently do, which is, Jim, take off your shoes, lay down on the floor just like you are. And I'm going to continue talking with you. I'm like a friendly mechanic. I'm going to tell you what I'm finding with the car, tell you what's going on, tell you what I think for maintenance. I think that people's anxiety levels, even though I do something that's different, I think that their anxiety levels are reduced because they're clothed and because of the fact that I put so much video and social media content out. People have a better idea of what they're getting when they come in.
I've seen some of your videos.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. It's funny. The woman that you're working with, the lady, she's got the long blonde hair.
Yeah.
She looks the most relaxed ever. By the time you were done, she was like relaxing me just watching her.
Yeah, being able to work on people, and I mean, the work is still relaxing, even though I don't focus on a relaxation-based practice. I'm really a problem solver for the most part. But part of the issue that a lot of Americans have is they're just stressed. Creating space where they can relax, release, unwind. And again, I'm giving that to clients in a fairly heroic dose. It's 3 hours long. Like, I'm going to need people from their little toe all the way to the top of their head.
There is also a danger in people who don't know what they're doing when they say, "Oh, let me rub your neck for you. Let me do your shoulders," right? Sometimes they can do a little more harm than help, right?
Well, I mean, it depends. For the most part, I think most massage is safe. There's a few things like I've heard of horror stories about a partner like rubbing somebody's neck in the shower and they pass out because they were pressing on the front of their neck at the carotid artery. But other than things like that, basic massage is actually something that, Jim, I wind up teaching to clients, both to work on themselves and then also to work on partners. I found as I became a massage educator for other therapists, there was actually a lack of information for the public in regards to massage and massage education. The more we push massage licensure in the United States, people look at it as a licensed profession and make it seem like, you couldn't learn enough to work on your wife comfortably. And I think that's just malarkey. I think very safely, in fact, I'm trying to skewer that market over time, providing materials to you and your wife to be able to work on each other safely. I think it increases the public's education knowledge, education level about massage. And I think it also opens up the marketplace itself. It's good for everybody.
What is your thought on foam rollers? I know people, like a lot of athletes will use that to stretch out muscles.
Well, it depends on how it's used. The foam roller or a tennis ball are probably the most common tools that I use with clients. So, Jim, when you tell me I get pain between my shoulder blades, my quick guess in 2 seconds is your shoulder blades are rolled forward. The muscles between your shoulder blades are overly lengthened. It's causing some, pain. What I'm going to do is put you over the foam roll, teach you some breathing exercises, and show you how to work on those muscles between your own spine after I've worked on you. Because what I want you to do is go away, not because I don't want to work on you again, because I want to give you something where you can manage your own discomfort so that your back doesn't hurt you. A lot of people will use foam rollers, and I think a much more aggressive way where they're rolling up and down, say on their IT band on the outside of their thighs. I think that has limited therapeutic benefit. I tend to use both the foam roller and the tennis ball more as something like a massage tool where it's applying pressure, delivering a unique input into your nervous system, and getting your body to respond by relaxation.
And you also teach yoga as well, is that correct?
Yes. One of the big challenges, like I said, when you were asking about, well, why don't massage therapists get it? Here's what happens. Thai massage and yoga, these two things, these core traditions, what would happen is I would show Thai massage to the massage therapist and they would say it was yoga. And then I would show it to the yoga teachers and they would say it was massage. So each industry kind of thought it was for the other industry. Like they didn't understand that I was hybridizing things in a way where, for instance, if I wind up teaching a yoga class, my yoga classes look like yoga therapy on steroids. I'm very likely to get you and your wife to partner up, show you how to work on each other in the midst of the yoga class. So I just keep breaking rules because I have to help people. I absolutely have to help people out of chronic pain. I knew that I was never going to make my living just by delivering relaxation massage like Swedish. I had to be a problem solver and like skewer a niche market where I was helping people with chronic pain.
Is there a certain type of yoga that's better for resolving pain issues?
I'm a really big fan of Iyengar yoga. It's fallen out of favor in recent years. Biakiesa Iyengar lived to be 96, but I think of it as almost like the physical therapy of the yoga community. BKS Iyengar developed lots of props and things that have greatly informed my practice to be able to help people with soft tissue restrictions. I think it's likely one of the best options. And I know that if you're going to an actual Iyengar studio with someone trained, they have a little bit more knowledge about alignment to be able to make sure you can do the practice safely.
Well, I appreciate all these answers that you've given me on yoga and massage. Tell me a little bit about your podcast.
Okay, my podcast, we started, I've been doing videos on YouTube for 8+ years. I'm a bit of a talker. I love education, and we just felt like a podcast was a good next step. There are not a lot of podcasts within the massage industry, and slowly, in addition to interviewing students, colleagues, educators, different people within the massage industry related to health and wellness, we're slowly reaching out to other industries when it comes to, I think, innovation, entrepreneurship, and social media marketing. So I'm almost on a level starting, like I feel my chops growing almost as a consultant for other businesses because I understand the marketing well enough within my industry to be able to apply it within others.
Do you think that there's an area of wellness that really needs more attention?
It all needs attention. The problem with the American healthcare system as it's set up via insurance is huge. Most of what I'm talking about coming from massage, very little of massage is covered by insurance currently within the United States. Not none, but not much. That means that it's not as readily available. It's a little bit more difficult or challenging for a doctor to prescribe massage, if that makes sense. So I think there's a ton of therapies out there for various pain conditions. And one of the challenges in integrating a science-based practice is we have to get the medical community on board, while at the same time, as an entrepreneur, I have people come to me and pay me. I don't want an insurance company between you and I, Jim, when it comes to your back pain. I would much rather just work with you directly and leave the insurance company out of it.
You partially actually answered my next question. What do you feel that has to be done to get more people on board with your style of massage and yoga?
One of the things I noticed years ago, I was having challenges. Like I said, massage therapists typically work in a very small box intellectually. They're trained in this practice in just such a certain way in 500 hours that they have a little bit of a hard time like breaking out of that box. And when I was looking at what I did, whether it's Thai, whether it's Indian, whether it's yoga, whether it's Thai massage, whether it's this, that, manual therapy, whatever, I was looking at the characteristics of what I did, and I realized that I had been looking at my work as being at a disadvantage because my clients were clothed. The fact that people are clothed means massage therapists don't think it's really massage. They have a hard time with that. But what did finally click for me was the fact that I could photo and video document everything. So not only could I do a session on you, Jim, I could set up the video camera and record it and put it on YouTube, which increasingly I did over the years, much to the chagrin of many in my industry. We produce so much video content. You mentioned Gary Vee before we went live. I feel like the Gary Vee of the massage industry. I keep being told you can't. And I'm like, I'm not breaking the law. I'm just breaking the rules. Like, these rules are meant to be broken. My clients are clothed, Being able to put it in video and sort of re-educate the marketplace is a huge portion of what I'm doing with my business practice.
And probably what's a good part of that are results. The measurable results that you could say, here's what this person's shoulder looked like, and after so many sessions, here's how it's changed.
It's wonderful work. It feels nice to work on people and help them with their upper back pain. It's even more so when you're getting great reviews, say on Google, that are 5 stars, and then people are. What blows me away, Jim, is this week I got a message from someone. They watched a YouTube video. They say they've been in chronic pain in their shoulder for 2 years. And then they watched a video I produced back when I had a flip cam 6 years ago. It was horrible. It was not good audio quality. And they say, listen, I watched your video and worked on myself and my pain is gone. That's via YouTube. That's not even me putting my hands on you. That thing completely gets me razzed. It gets me inordinately excited. and I just want more of it. I like being able to educate people. And one of the benefits about having a bodywork or massage based practice is there are no negative side effects. It's touch. Touch for people is good, increases intimacy, connection, oxytocin, all the good stuff, natural opiates, it's all good. Like there's no downside to what I do.
Is there any advice that you would have for people to kind of keep them from tensing up? Is there anything that they should do regularly?
So I'm a big fan of yoga. A big portion of that, and I don't want people to run out to like a crazy Ashtanga or some crazy core power yoga, hurt themselves. I like a low and slow practice, a lot of like yin or restorative yoga. A big part of what I see is people's breathing. So when I talked about that foam roll, I put people over that foam roll, put pillows underneath their head and back so they're comfortable, so they can open their chest and teach them breathing exercises. Half the time I watch them for 10 minutes because they're going to fall asleep. But if people alter their breathing pattern, they usually have a reduction in anxiety in my experience. They have an increased sense of mood and well-being, and usually less muscle tension generally. I think yoga as something you can do for yourself is a really great practice. I would never exclude massage, but massage is a little bit more expensive and you have to rely on somebody else working on you.
Sometimes breathing through pain, doesn't that help as well? Like, does it loosen you up?
Breathing is just inextricably linked to your nervous system. It's very difficult to convey all the things that breathing does, and even me, I'm not an expert on it. Do you know anything about Wim Hof, the Wim Hof method?
I can't say I do.
So Wim Hof is a guy from Europe, and basically he takes ice baths. He's broken world records for like running in snow for, marathons, basically, with nothing but a pair of shorts on, because he's doing things to his own anatomy and physiology using breathing. He's hacking his own nervous system. At the low end, it just reduces anxiety and muscle tension.
Now, it sounds like you're really going to be covering a lot of information in your podcast. And I know that you said there's a couple of podcasts that you listen to regularly.
Yeah, I'm not a huge podcast listener, but I check Joe Rogan fairly regularly. I really like Tim Ferriss's podcast. And then also, I think it was WTF with Mark Maron. I've caught that a handful of times. There are some other podcasts here and there, and even though I have my own, I don't spend a huge amount of time like scouring the internet for new ones, though I do pay attention when other people make recommendations.
Even though our podcasts are very different in content and style, it's when you're doing something different and it starts picking up and people start to notice, that's when you know you must be on the right course.
More noise, more attention, more eyeballs, more information, more notoriety. I think the main thing I've noticed about podcasts so far is just the way people consume the content. Audio is very different than YouTube as video. It's just not the same thing. Like, people could be in their car and listen to a podcast. They won't do that with a YouTube video per se.
We have this portion of the show and we call it Shameless Self-Promotion.
Shameless Self-Promotion.
And this is where you can let everybody know where they can see you or get in touch with you or check out your podcast, if you could share that information.
So currently, I think if you want to find the podcast, just go look up Robert Gardner Wellness Podcast on Anchor. I think that'll also link you to Spotify. If you're looking for anything from me, my website is robertgardnerwellness.com. I am rabidly active across social media platforms, including TikTok, under various screen names, RG Wellness, Robert G Wellness 12, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. On my website on robertgardnerwellness.com, one, there's a free Thai massage workbook. Doesn't cost anything. Two, there's a subscription service with 450 hours of my classroom instruction that's completely free for your first month and $7 a month thereafter. If you're looking for workbooks and DVDs, I wrote 700 pages of sequence manuals and 9 DVDs of core content, and we're still releasing content on the subscription service each week.
My interviews are normally very painless, and I think after speaking with you, I feel even more relaxed.
Oh, well, good. Hopefully I don't stress people out.
His name is Robert Gardner from Robert Gardner Wellness. Check out his YouTube channel and his podcast. Robert, thank you so much for coming on down to the spa.
Thank you so much. It was really great, Jim. It was a pleasure to chat.
And now it's time for Sherpa Suggestions.
You know something, Rebels? Robert was right. There really aren't a lot of podcasts about massage. However, I did find a few, of course, in my travels, and I figured I'd share them with you. Now, mind you that they may not share the same philosophy that Robert does for his podcast. Like I said, we always like to give you alternatives, just in case you want to look into things. So we have the Massage Business Blueprint, How's the Pressure, Massage Therapy Now, the Alternative Health Tools Podcast, and Deep Energy 2.0, music for sleep, meditation, relaxation, and massage. Oh, wake up, wake up. Oh, I gotta get away from decaf for a little while. Thanks so much to Mr. Robert Gardner of Robert Gardner Wellness for coming on down to the Sherpa Chalet Spa. And definitely check out his YouTube channel and his podcast. Really interesting stuff. Like I said, you're really going to look at massage very differently from the traditional views, and is Robert's plan. You know that you can follow us on social media. Just use the word Sherpalution if you're using Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. I'm fighting a little bit with Facebook because they're still not letting me change it from Too Many Podcasts to Sherpalution, but that'll be another battle for another day, I'm sure. And also, you can check out our website at sherpalution.com. And if you go there, you can hear all of the episodes from the start, anything that you may have missed, or even read up on some of the Sherpa sheets, which are the show notes. Also, I'm getting giggly. Also, I'm including some Spotify playlists. And with Valentine's Day coming up, we need some Sherpa love. And if you're listening to it through the website, there are 100 love songs, actually, for you to check out. And, maybe play them in the background if you're having a nice romantic dinner. Whether or not it's Valentine's Day, there's always room for love, right? Or even if you just go through the Spotify app and you look for the Sherpa Love playlist, there's a little bit more in there. I think the website only lets me use 100, but 100 is plenty, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, and what did I want to tell you? That's right. Here's my semi-big announcement. You know that when we do these shows, we're interviewing podcasters about podcasting and their podcasts. Well, through my recent collaboration with the mighty powerful Stephen Joyner, who is a publicist and has been getting me all sorts of great guests, and I really appreciate that. Thank you, Stephen. There are going to be more shows with people who are in the entertainment field, and I've already recorded a few episodes with some filmmakers who have got stuff coming out, and there will be some actors as well, and hopefully some actresses in the near future. And those shows, they aren't going to be about podcasting. They will be more entertainment related, and they'll be talking about their craft and so on and so forth, and I'll be still questioning them, learning about their background and what they want to do and about their future projects, because people in the entertainment field have a lot of really interesting stories to tell. And I can tell you, for the two that I've already recorded, these guys have great stories, and I think you're really going to enjoy them. And that's really what podcasting is about, right? Hearing great stories. So I think it's a great little mix to mix in with Too Many Podcasts. And those shows will be called the Sherpa Screening Room. So when you see that title in your podcasting app, then you know that it's an episode that has to do with the entertainment business. And you'll actually see different cover art as well. Don't forget, you can contact me at jimthepodcastsherpa@gmail.com if you've got any questions or complaints or recipes, or you want to challenge me to an arm wrestling match. You will win, by the way. Yes, you will win. And also, don't forget to leave a review for me on Apple Podcasts, please. Something nice, so more people can climb aboard and get into the show. That's what we want to do, right? We want to spread the word. So if you're enjoying the show, please let somebody know. Even if you post something on your Facebook page or your Twitter account or your Instagram, just say, hey, check out Too Many Podcasts. And by the way, he's got other stuff going on too. He's got the Sherpa screening room. And don't forget, on Thursdays, we have the Expert Factory, where we have experts coming on and giving you little life lessons to help you do things better. Don't forget about that. That'll be here for a little while. So in the meantime, I hope that you've enjoyed the show, and thank you so much for listening. And we will see you next time, and hopefully, if all goes well, you will hear an episode of the Sherpa Screening Room. I'm not going to put too much pressure on my upcoming guests because I'm going to rush release that episode. So if you can, drop me a line or a message on social media. Let me know what you think of the other show too. And of this show too. Mr. Bruce, you know what? I think I'm ready to call it a day. So if you would please, sir, escort our guests to the door. See you guys next week. Viva la Sherpalution!
Thanks for listening to Too Many Podcasts. Please disperse. You can go home now. I said you can go home now. Viva la Sherpalution. Viva la Sherpalution. Oh. Yell, come back now, you hear?